let's get this tier list in order.
All right.
First off,
Wait,
we're
all
gonna.
right, who have you played so far?
I'm gonna start from the very beginning, cause
Okay.
I really just gotta get a feel for the character. Uh,
All right, sounds good.
have you locked in? Wait, what am I
Hang on.
missing here? Yeah,
I don't know.
you need to pick your character.
All
This
right.
is the one. All
The
right,
one.
with someone with absolutely no experience on this game at all.
What are you talking about? You're the best player I've ever met.
Obviously, I don't even know how to like play this game without. Oh, I know how to. I sure do know how to slide.
Nice.
Okay, this is clearly the best character in the game.
Oh yeah, are we fighting?
Uh, absolutely. Okay, second I say yes, you just start wrecking me. Oh! Alright. That's awkward.
Oh, I missed. Oh, Randall.
Randall. Okay. Alright, that's about that. Uh, I'm gonna give Dr. Mario here. I'm gonna give Dr. Mario here, like, I think he belongs in B tier. I think he's a very solid B tier.
All right.
I mean, he's clearly not used by the pros, but I'd say that he belongs. He's pretty top tier. He could take a tournament pretty easily. All right. How do we just quit out?
Well, you can LRA start. Hang on.
You do all that.
Okay, there we go.
All right, next character. Next we have to do the man himself, Mr. Mario.
Oh boy.
I expect him to be not as good as Dr. Mario, but we'll see. Okay. Okay.
So badly, but I just barely can on this keyboard.
Yeah. Playing melee on keyboard is one of the weirdest experiences. Sometimes I forget how to jump.
Nice.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, clearly not as talented and clearly not as much of a visionary as Dr. Mario.
Of
But
course.
I think I don't know. I think he's just a very solid character. I think he's more of a middle of the pack kind of guy. Um,
Of course.
so I think he's probably gonna belong in like. I think he belongs in C tier. I think C tier is a good place for him. Yeah,
Now,
and then
what do you think he needs to be higher on the tier list?
what?
What does he lack?
He just lacks the pizzazz and the PhD that Dr. Mario has. There's
Oh,
just
of course.
something about his neutral and the ability to just throw pills. It's just incredible. I've just never seen anything like it. It's just revolutionary. You know, it's clearly taking projectiles in video games to the next level. Um, so he's just Dr. Mario, but without all the cool stuff. I don't know.
That
He's all
makes
right.
sense.
I'm just gonna name this one F tier. All right, now we got another tier going. Let's quit the. Oh well, I could just die. Let's do it.
All right, go.
But yeah, I definitely appreciate Dr. Mario a lot more than regular Mario. I don't know if that's actually accurate to like if he would rank higher, but
What are you talking about? This is your expert opinion.
oh, of course, yeah. You're not gonna get a more expert now. Luigi, on the other hand, he's clearly taller, more handsome, uh, generally just better. Green is a better color. His uh, his little wait, what was it? This thing is the best attack there has ever been. There is just simply no better move in this entire game. Uh, Other than that, I like this little punch attack that you could just spam the crap out of. It just shows the fact that you know he's
Yeah,
just
that's a really good attack, right?
yeah, it's a really good attack. It's very solid. There's nothing really special about it. He's just kind of moving towards you, like swinging his fists. He closing his eyes, but I don't know. It just shows how wacky Luigi is, and I really appreciate that fact. I just Luigi's just Mario, but more fun. Whereas Dr. Mario is all sophisticated. Luigi's like Green Mario, and Green Mario is just better than regular Mario. Yeah, and that's just my opinion on this character. I think he belongs solid A tier. He's an A tier character easily. Like you see this guy out there in the pro scene, he's kicking butt. He's taking names. All of the pros right now. I know that they're transitioning from the Foxes and the Falcos. They're moving over to the Luigi. You got to appreciate that wave dash. And that's just my opinion on Luigi. I think he's a very solid A tier. I don't think I could put him in the S tier quite yet, but I can't wait to see Luigi take Summit 12. Um, I'm very much looking forward to him perform. Next character on the list, that would oh boy, that would be the best character in the game. You know it, it's Bowser. Oh, see, we have the same idea. Yeah, Bowser's just there's something special about him. I don't know. It's the ability to just be so different from all the other characters in this game. It's just, I can appreciate things like the fact that he doesn't have a running animation and things like that. I don't know. It just shows. It just shows what Melee really is. It's not a perfect game, but it's a masterpiece, and that's just shown in every single part of Bowser, his play style, and just what Bowser is. Bowser embodies Melee. And you see that in tournaments and all over the place. You see these Marth mains. They're terrified of Bowser. They just they don't know what to do against him. So all of Bowser literally has pros quitting the scene. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it just takes a master class level of mechanics to pull off stuff that Bowser can do. So I
You don't like
appreciate.
him anymore because he's banned for being too good.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is banned now. Well, luckily all of those Marth mains out there, they don't have to worry anymore because Bowser has clearly been banned because he's just I don't know, he's too OP.
Yup, yup.
But that's just my simple that's just a little simple description of everybody knows. I don't even have to talk about Bowser anymore. Then you already know Bowser S tier easily. Actually, you know what? We're gonna add a row above. And this tier will be known as God tier.
Wow.
Um, and Bowser, he's just the staple God tier character. Um,
He's too good.
put Luigi in A tier. I forgot to do that, but yeah, God tier character easily. I don't know. They're just never gonna smash out of all of their games. They've never been able to make another Bowser as good as this one. Truly, you know. So hopefully one day that they'll be able to
Set
come
a high
back to the
bar.
work of art that is the original. But you know,
Yep.
for now, he really is King Koopa in every sense of the word. Next up, um, everyone's favorite woman of Nintendo. Um, you know her. It's Peach. There's not really much to say about this character. She's kind of boring. Not really much going on. She doesn't really attack. She kind of just, as you can see, she's kind of just slapping, and she throws a celery stick at you. Um, just really not much. There's really not much going on. Um, the only cool things about her is that she jumps a little bit higher. And she's only one of the only female characters in this game, so it's definitely showing off the Nintendo's female representation in the community. But you're never gonna see this character um, other than on the front cover of the game. So you might as well just stay far, far away from this character. I recommend, unless you just really want to get stomped. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, there really isn't much to say about Peach. Yeah, hopefully she gets a buff, but sadly, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, maybe in the next melee patch.
Maybe in the next patch. Yeah. Next character, Yoshi. Um, I actually really like Yoshi. Kind of wacky. Um, Definitely not on the level of Bowser whatsoever. Um, but I like the whole. I like his whole moveset. It's very unique. It's different from what we see everywhere else. And of course, you're never gonna see Yoshi in a tournament, or you're never gonna see him in competitive because he's kind of garbage. But I think design wise and just how special he is, I think he just belongs in S tier just for that fact. It's not this competitive list isn't all about competitive. It's just about what's just good. And Yoshi is just he's just got a 10 in the looks category. He's definitely a 10 in the moves category. He might be like a 2 in the competitive category, but that doesn't make him any less S tier.
Nice.
S tier. That's where
Well,
he
someone
belongs.
someone should tell Amsa he's not very good.
Yeah, no,
Except
Amsa's garbage. So
dang.
he should move over to a good character like Luigi or Bowser, and then maybe we could talk about you know. But next character, who do we got going on here? We got DK. DK, you know him, you love him, and you're not going to be disappointed. He really he's like a what you see is what you get kind of character. When you think of DK, you don't think of huge jumping ability and a great recovery. You think of kind of like this guy's gonna just do a bunch of punches and be a big beefy gorilla, and that's exactly what you get. And you know what? I like that kind of upfront honesty from Nintendo. It's not something you get a lot of, so just makes me really appreciate this character. And honestly. Um, that's about all you can say about DK. He's just a monkey, and if you have small monkey brain, this character is pretty perfect for you. Um, but other than that, he's kind of he's just there to show you that Nintendo really does. Really, Nintendo is that community that loves its players and is willing to support them in everything, as they have in the melee community for this entire time. Um,
Yep.
so next up, I think we're just gonna keep moving. I think there's not much else for DK. Big Monkey. That's pretty much it. Nothing really special going on. Um, but just another beautiful character. Captain Falcon. Probably one of the worst characters in this entire game. Um, Here's what I'll tell you, and I'm gonna put Donkey Kong in C tier. I think I'll put him in B tier. I think he belongs in B tier. I don't think he's as terrible as Mario. Um,
Right.
and Peach, I'll put in Peach is D tier. Peach is D tier. Peach is D tier. She's pretty terrible. Um,
Of course.
yeah, she's just I don't know. She's just female representation in the Smash community, but that's honestly just about it. Really. All right, Captain Falcon. You know the name, but don't be surprised if you drop this character almost immediately. Um, Besides cool combos and just speed and just having a fun and interesting play style, you're not really going to get much from this character at all. Um, Although he's played in competitive, I usually look at him and I'm like, man, this guy sure is some kind of sweat. So if you don't want to be a loser, don't play Captain Falcon. And especially stay far, far, far away from Fox, Falco, and Ice Climbers. Yeah, if you play any of those characters, you're going to live a terrible life. I think that's about all I can say about Captain Falcon. Just don't play Captain Falcon. Captain Falcon is in a tier that's actually lower than F tier. It's called Captain Falcon tier. It's right under. It's right under F. It's pretty bad. There's no other character in Captain Falcon tier. It's just him. It just shows just how bad, just terrible this character is. So
Of course.
yeah, of course. Next up, fan favorite, Ganondorf. Ganondorf, of course, we know has one of the best recoveries in this entire game. Um, Although he's a little bit of like a wet noodle character, um, his ability to just stay on stage is just really what really what just keeps this character just keeps him going through the battle. And I mean, I think he's just one of the coolest looking characters. I don't know. Like, you're definitely not going to see this guy in competitive clearly. He's look at the man's eyes. Look at those eyes. He reminds me of a gremlin. And I kind of dig it. I dig it. It's
Yep.
like it's threatening and silly and beautiful. He's just beautiful.
It's
I
just
don't know.
beautiful.
He's so beautiful. He almost makes me want to cry. But yeah, he's definitely not like a super good competitive character. But if you want to go out and you want to troll some noobs, this is the character to do it with. Um, you know, Again, wet noodle character. You're just gonna slap them around a little, and then next thing you know, those Bowser mains, those like new Bowser mains will be crying because they can't even beat anybody on the best character in the game. So if you really just want to, help get rid of new players from the Smash community, I'm pretty sure just smurfing in low rank with Ganondorf is probably the best thing you could do. So I don't know, fan favorite. I really appreciate his role in the Legend of Link. One of one of my favorite characters even to this day. Top five protagonist for me. Well, he really made Wind Waker for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too,
All right.
man.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Is there a character that I'm forgetting? Ganondorf. I want to say Ganondorf. I don't know. Let me think. I don't think he's on. I don't think he's in. I know I'm building a B tier here, but I don't think he's A tier. I think he's a B tier. I think he's with Donkey Kong. He's sitting nice with Donkey Kong. They're both great characters, but you're just not going to see them in the competitive like the Bowser's and the Luigi. You're not going to see those. Oh, and Captain. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, he's going down there. All right. I don't think I've missed the character yet. Hopefully. Next up, we have Falco. Um, Now, Falco might seem like a cool character at first with his nice little jacket and the fact that he's a bird. Ever since the government has revealed that birds aren't actually real, that they're robots, it's just really like it's there's more it's more than just competitive, like the competitive aspect behind this character. He has a story, he has a really big backstory. There's just so much mystery with this character. You're just, as he's moving around, instead of like fighting the opponent, you're just thinking like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? Who built him? What is his purpose? Like, is he also to spy? Is he trying to spy on us like the government does with pigeons? So it's just such a mysterious and plot-driven character in a fighting game. I've just never seen anything quite like it, which is why I think I'm going to have to put Falco and Fox both in A tier. I think they have about the same backstory. Fox, of course, representing the furry community more so than the community of people that play this game that are robots. But I think that honestly, I think I'll drop Fox down to B tier. I think Fox, no, C tier. I think he's a solid C tier. I think that I think the fact that Falco is such a mysterious character is really what makes him. Whereas like Fox really just doesn't have. But Fox is a very cool looking character. But clearly nothing you'd use in competitive. Just not an interesting character. Just not very good. Yeah, I think he belongs in C. C's definitely a very good place for Fox. I don't think I even have to play Fox to know that he belongs in that low rank. Um, yeah, He's okay though. I won't knock you if you play Fox, but you are a big, gigantic sweat if you play Fox. Um,
Dang.
Next up, we have Ness. Um, Now, if you play Ness, um, there's a special place for you in prison. Ness is like playing SNES is like the equivalent of playing Bowser in Ultimate, but the only move you use is grab, and you just grab and you grab over and over again. That's like, or playing Ridley, and then re-grabbing every single time, using that side B a little bit too much. And this is like that equivalent, but all the time. The other things I could compare it to would be like putting a toothpick under your toenail and kicking the wall, or running your nails over a chalkboard. Ness is just the epitome of pain as a character, and I think that he should be removed in the next patch. I don't like him. He's just I don't know. He's pretty terrible. I think that I'm gonna have to put Ness in the F tier. I think that that's a solid. I could never move him up. I don't think he's Captain Falcon though, but I'm not that evil. But I think F is a very solid place for him. Moving on though, ice climbers. Um, Ice climbers. Sea Dog, you tell me a little bit more about this, but I've heard about this. I want you to give me some information. Isn't there a mechanic known as wobbling?
Yes, basically, if you grab and then you pummel them to the rhythm of staying alive, I believe.
Staying alive, huh?
I'm not sure if that's the right song, but they can't escape.
Oh wow. So clearly, with that move in mind, the ice climbers is an easy S tier. How could you ever win against a character this overpowered? Really, he just needs to be nerfed, or there needs to be some sort of ban against wobbling, or something like that. There just there needs to be some. This character's just too good. I wanted to put him in the god tier, but I just can't. He needs to be next to Yoshi. But this character, you see him out there. He's really good ice climber mains are just they're able to beat good characters like Luigi. Some are even able to take down some like DK mains, some hardcore DK mains. And I've seen ice climbers beat a Bowser or two even. So I just ice climbers is just it definitely there definitely needs to be a nerf of some kind. I don't know what they're gonna do about wobbling, but for now, just if you wanna get into this game and play a fun character and win every single time, just play ice climbers. If you're really that butthurt about losing, just play ice climbers. And honestly, two is really better than one, and that's very apparent in this character. Although you don't get to play as the other character. There's something about sitting in your mom's basement and playing Melee all day. It's almost like that other CPU or whatever it is that follows you around and helps you out. It almost takes away from the loneliness of just playing Melee all day. So I think that there's also an emotional and mental aspect of ice climbers that still needs to be investigated. Kirby, Kirby. Kirby is like Kirby is like Jigglypuff, but if Jigglypuff was useful. So Kirby has all kinds of. So as you can see, Kirby has the same amount of jumps and stuff that Jigglypuff does. But does Jigglypuff have a hammer? Tell me, does Jigglypuff have a hammer? No, Jigglypuff doesn't have a hammer. And this would really just you've seen the clips. You've seen the clips of the number one Kirby main in the world, ZAIN. You've seen the clips of him hitting those hammers. They come up they try to grab the ledge, and he just whips out the old hammer, and he just boom, and then they're suddenly off the stage. And the whole eating thing. it's incredible. It's just such a special character, and then of course later on in Ultimate and stuff, they nerf him a lot. In Ultimate and in Brawl and in Smash for Wii U, you can clearly see that they've nerfed him a ton. He's definitely not at the peak of what Kirby is in this game, and I don't think he ever will be, sadly. But he's just everyone's favorite pink ball. He's just I don't know. He's just something so simple about a character with just a pink ball with red shoes. It just warms my heart. You know, every single time I'm starting to like feel terrible. And it's like I'm raging and I feel like I'm not doing well anymore. I switch to Kirby and it's just the biggest refresher. It's just such a unique character, such a amazing character that just makes you feel better about yourself as you play. I don't know. It's just I think I'm gonna cry. All right.
My favorite part is how he takes 3 jumps to get to the top platform.
Yeah, that's like almost a new record.
Yeah.
Not quite on like Bowser's level. Bowser can actually get to the top platform in a single like just jump. Nothing nothing added. He just jumps to the top platform. There's nothing nothing special. And
Oh,
then
I've never seen that tech before.
yeah, it's crazy. You should just go watch some clips of Bowser doing that. It's just becomes more and more clear why he's set apart. Um, but I think I'm gonna have to put Kirby. I think Kirby is very good, and you see him in comp all the time. Um, I think he belongs in S tier. I think I'm gonna put him in S tier. Yeah, I think he's an S tier character. I don't think he's definitely not God tier quite yet. I think you know after more time, this game hasn't been out for very long. After some more time, I think it'll cement itself in the God tier. But for now, it's just it'll be. I think it'll be happy in the top of S tier. Actually, I'm gonna move him to the top. I think that. Let me sort this tier list. I think Ice Climbers is better than Yoshi. Um, Luigi's definitely better than Falco. Ganondorf is the best out of these. No, you belong there. And then yeah, we're good. But yeah, yeah, I'd say that Kirby with a little bit more time. This game hasn't been out for very long, but after some more time, it'll definitely cement itself in the God tier. Never going to be as good as Bowser, but I think that maybe it'll create a tier of its own. Who knows? Next up, Metroid. Yeah, if we have Metroid next.
Yep.
Um, we're gonna play on the Metroid level.
Pronounced.
Hmm?
I never knew that's how it was pronounced.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually
It
wait,
looks like Seamus or something.
Seamus. No,
Yeah.
no, that's actually a very common misconception. Um, it looks like Seamus, but it's actually Japanese for Metroid, and Japanese people get really really mad when you don't like show up at your house and like beat the crap out of you levels of like angry. So you definitely want to make sure that you're calling Seamus Metroid. It's definitely important to
Yep.
call him the right term. Um, how do I? What have I done wrong? I can't press. All right, I'm waiting for you.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
You're slowing down the tier list.
I'm sorry, man.
Another.
Oh, can we talk about this
Yeah, I was
stage?
actually about to talk about this stage. This is one of the new up and coming stages. It was actually made by a fan. I mean, clearly it doesn't look as polished as the other stages, like the one with the giant dragon. It's clearly not as polished as those stages. But it was made by a fan, and Nintendo has just been so kind to this community that they've added it, and actually it's been although it will need some work in the future, it's been used in the competitive scene. It's actually a favorite among the pros. So it's very simple. It's very different from a lot of the stages where it's just I fall off the platform. There's just a lot more going on than just a simple platform and some it's just special, and it holds a place in the heart of the Smash community. Well, let's talk about this
I love
character
the way
though.
that hammers will just fall on your head while you're just trying to
Yeah,
play the game.
it's like it brings a whole new like dimension to the game. You're
Yeah, you
just
gotta stay on your
Yeah,
toes.
you really do gotta. Yeah, and you're wanting to hit the you're wanting to hit the enemy player into those wrenches. You're trying to play like on the right half of the and trying to knock them in. It's more than just knocking them off of a stage. It's just trying to get some more damage in by using those hammers, taking advantage of those. It just makes the stage unique, and it makes it more than just any other Smash stage. But let's get to this character though. Um, oh wow, we get an outer view. It's nice,
Yep.
nice. Wow. Yeah, beautiful stage, just beautiful. I wonder how long it took that guy to make it. But this character, um, other than the fact that it shoots lasers, um, it's not really good. Actually, um, uh, Metroid is only able to take a few steps before it enters. It has to enter a turret mode, where then it can only shoot. So it's just not a good character, and projectiles in this game are just absolutely broken. So if you play this game and you play Metroid, you're pretty much a dirtbag.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just such a boring character. Um, yeah,
I've heard there's some crazy tech on this character
yeah,
too.
there is some guys do some crazy like they shoot other kinds of projectiles. They're secret projectiles that other people don't know about. It's really
Oh,
crazy. Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, there's not really much you can do when I can't move the character until I shoot. So then I can move the character a few steps. But there had to be a way to make it a little bit more even. Oh wow, that really killed me, huh? What a great stage. But anyway, there's not really much special about Mr. Metroid. He's not all that. I mean, if you're really into the projectile game, go for it. Absolutely, you'll have some fun. But I think that Metroid, he's got to be a D tier. I think he's a D tier. Yeah, I think he belongs where Peach is. Yeah. Um, Next character we have Zelda. This is female Zelda. So they actually have Zelda in many different forms. So they have regular Zelda, they have like man Zelda, and then they have like a little kid boy Zelda. They actually didn't come. You have to come out with the young girl Zelda. You actually have to buy DLC for that, and I sadly do not have the DLC for that character. So, and since it's a lot of the I didn't want to really rank the characters that were in the DLC. I wait a minute.
you have to hit down B.
Down B. So it's a two-in-one character. I actually never knew that. So do I have to judge? Do I judge this character based on both of them, or I think I wouldn't have to judge this character based on both Zelda and
Okay, this is actually Zelda's fifth form, which is Man Ninja Zelda.
Man? Oh, of course, dude. I actually forgot all about that. Yeah, Man Ninja Zelda. Man Ninja Zelda's pretty good, pretty fast. It's a fun character to play. It's a nice change of pace from playing like say a Bowser, a little slow. So in that, it's a fun character to play, but you're definitely not going to be stomping anybody like you would with like a Kirby or an Ice Climbers or Luigi. Ninja Link, Ninja Zelda is just not that good. But on the other hand, we have the better form here, which is adult woman Zelda. And adult woman Zelda is actually kind of crazy. See, she has magic powers. One of the only characters in this game that experiments with magic. It's basically like a more definitely like a more friendly, less painful version of Ness. You're not gonna see any like fire going on here, just electricity. But it's a fun character to play. Not really anything special. You really never touch the other side of the character. So I just wish Nintendo would have done more with Ninja Zelda. Um, it's just it's kind of I don't know. I just wish they would have balanced both sides and made the other side a little bit better, made it a little bit more interesting. Because ninjas are cool, but I guess that of course, we all know that ninjas are from originally China. So the Japanese clearly don't know what a ninja really is. So um, They've well designed the one half of the character, but I really wish that they would have designed the other half good as well. So it'd feel a little bit better to switch in between the characters instead of sticking to just adult girl Zelda. It's a little bit boring. Although adult girl Zelda is a good character. Um, but I think if I'm going to rank them together, I think I have to rank them together because there's no way you can just play this character with only one side. That would be wrong. Um,
That would be wrong.
so adult woman Zelda, and Sheik are gonna have to go in like D tier. I think they also belong in D tier. Oh wait, oh lucky us! Look, we have them together as an option. All right, with that in mind, Sheik is F tier, and adult woman Zelda is probably like A tier. I think solid A tier.
And of course, naturally, A and F average out to D.
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Ninja Zelda just brings it down so much that it's just I don't know if there was a hold on. Oh, that was wrong. Oh, move Captain Falcon down. No, move Captain Falcon down. He
He's
belongs.
climbed up, man.
He's just climbing. We're gonna add a row below here. We'll make it feel a little bit more balanced. Ninja Zelda. Uh, and he goes in there. Um, I think that balances it out pretty nicely. It's not perfect, but he definitely brings her down quite a lot. Um, that,
Gotcha.
yeah, most definitely. But we can move on.
Right, right,
But yeah, I definitely wouldn't touch this character if I were you. Um, I would just choose a better character that's really similar, like Luigi. Yeah, someone
Yep.
that's a lot like him, but
Very similar play styles.
yeah, very very similar. Both are very defensive, um, and they both have options to heal themselves and
Yep.
teleport. So and but the only thing is that Luigi does have that really great side B, so you might as well just pick Luigi anyway. But Zelda is basically just don't even pick. Now on to male adult Zelda. Um, Male adult Zelda looks cool, looks really cool. Um, but he's basically just like every other character with the sword. Um, there's so many characters on this list with a sword, um, and they just all play exactly the same. There's no like you can't even jump with this character. You just all it is you just swing your sword. This is every single battle with it. Oh, this is every single battle with this character. You just it's almost like a duel, and that is cool. I would play a game where I dueled with Zelda. That would be really fun. But all it is really is you just poke until they fall off the edge. And there's other games for that. I don't think it belongs in this one, and that's why I'm gonna have to rate every single person here with a sword in the sword tier, um, which is right down here.
Wow,
But
lower than Captain Falcon?
lower than Captain Falcon, yes. Often the characters in Sword tier are so bad. I'm still going to touch one of these characters in particular, but I'll definitely explain why these characters are in the tier that they are. More so when we touch Mr. Roy here down at the bottom that we have not ranked yet. Um, but I'll explain why they all belong lower than Captain Falcon. Later on. With the ice climbers, I see we're just not even going to rank ice climbers. There's no point. They're a package. They're a package deal. We don't rank them separately. Um, but yeah, I think that's that's a pretty good ranking of him as and all sword characters. Ganondorf's kind of different. All as you can see, all these characters are human. And I think what really makes Ganondorf B tier, although he uses a sword, is the fact that he is Gremlin, and he is like one of the best protagonists that Nintendo's ever created. So in my mind, he's like the bar that was set for all characters that use swords. and there's just never been a character that's really reached that level of, you know. And for young Link as well, I'm actually not even gonna touch Little Zelda here. I'm just gonna.
Actually, you forgot to mention how Ganondorf actually forgot to bring his swords when he came to Melee.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, of course. When you play the Legend of Link and you play as Ganondorf, of course you can choose your character between, and everybody picks Ganondorf. No one's out here picking Ness, all right? Because Ness is just a really terrible character in all the games he's in. Um, but it's really crazy how it just works out canonically. Ganondorf loses his sword at the very end of the Legend of Zelda. Wind Waker, he loses the sword in that game, and all from that point onward, he only fights with his fists. And as we can see, as far as like when games came out, Melee came out, much later. This is like a 2017 game versus Wind Waker, which is like a 1999 game. Um,
Yep.
so it's very good that then Nintendo just didn't bring it in for the sake of just making people happy. Nintendo, although they do support the community in many ways, and they're honest with us, um, I'm glad that they're willing to put the foot down, and not adding to the character, keeping to its original concept design and all of that. So I really respect Nintendo in that way. Next up, we're gonna skip Little Zelda here, and we're gonna move on. This is taking a long time to do. There's a lot of characters in this game. Um, Little Rat and Big Rat. You know them. You've seen them play. I'm just gonna skip these guys. I think that they're solid S tier. I think that Little Rat is a little bit higher. I think Little Rat's like up here. Um, but you've seen them play. They're just real fast. They have the best recoveries in the game, other than Bowser. They have lightning powers. They can call each other in to help each other out. They come as a pair basically. You've seen them play together. It's just really crazy how it just brings a whole new plane to the game. You've seen singles where it'll be like a Pichu player playing against a Bowser player, and then he'll like and his friend will plug in the controller, and then Big Rat comes in and helps out Little Rat, and that's a very common thing you see in singles. Them doubling up on one character. It's a very fun thing. But these don't think these characters are weak by any means. They're some of the strongest characters in the game on their own, which makes them such a threat. Together, I would put them close to God tier, but sadly, I can't. But moving on, next character we have the Puff. Now you've heard about the hate that the Puff gets. Nobody likes a floaty that just moves around and hits up. And I completely agree. This is a terrible character. Like this is like when you think of Melee, you think of like super fast characters like Pichu, Pikachu. You think of Luigi and the different Zeldas. You think of those speedy characters. But you don't commonly think of like a really slow and boring character like this. You've seen competitive events. This character get booed like crazy. It's just because he's just not good. He's just not a good character. The only cool thing about him is his down B, the rest. And that's a really sick thing. But other than that, it's just such a boring play style of just patience and waiting in a game where it's more fun when it moves quickly and you just combo a ton. So I think I'm just gonna have to, out of like sheer hatred for this character, I'm gonna have to put Jigglypuff in Ninja Zelda tier. I think he is about that level. Yeah, I'd say that he's around. Maybe no, Ninja Zelda tier is solid. I don't think I can move him up or down at all. I don't think he deserves his own tier. He's not deserving of much of anything, um, other than the trash can, really. So I mean, this is just sadly a character that's always going to be in the game. You know, you've seen him. He's an Earthbound, very popular, and of course they have to represent every franchise. So there's not really much we can do about it. But we kind of just have to put up with it. But luckily, you're not going to see this guy a lot in competitive. You're not going to be putting up with him all the time. You're definitely not going to see him in the pro scene. So you're not going to have to worry about having to watch a grueling match of just patience.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
Mewtwo, another Earthbound character. Um, this is a very interesting character. Um, you've seen, you've heard of the famous Mewtwo King, who's actually famous for maining this character. In fact, he won every single tournament just by playing this character, and he three stocked everybody. So quite a famous character. Just a tiny bit floaty, as you can see, but and a little bit slow. But the guy's grabs kind of cool. And a lot of his attacks are very different from what you'll see with like a boring sword character or like a Jigglypuff or like a Mario. They're a little bit more interesting. They're like Luigi levels of interesting, or like Yoshi levels of interesting. And it just at this point, I don't understand why they don't just remove the other Earthbound character. They just keep this guy. But I guess they need one more. And, Earthbound's such a huge game. Now they're making new Earthbounds all the time. So of course, it being such a big deal, I'm sure the characters would be upset that one of these characters would be removed. So sadly, there's no getting rid of Jigglypuff, but there's no wanting to get rid of this character at all. He shoots lasers. He floats. He's a rat creature. Just cool design. He's got a whole sciency built in a lab design, and I kind of like that. I dig it. He's just a good looking character. He's a little scuffed looking. If you've seen actual Mewtwo, he looks a little bit more crisp than this one. But you know what? Who am I to judge what Nintendo can do? Um, even with a new game, they're definitely not a perfect company, and they know that. So Mewtwo, with some really difficult decision making, I think I'm gonna have to put Mewtwo in mm, B tier. I think Mewtwo's a solid B tier. He's a good all around character. He's not that good anymore. He's kind of he used to be like in the beginning. People were saying he was up in God tier, but that clearly didn't stay. That opinion didn't stay for very long because he clearly, has dropped a lot, and the amount of players that play him, and he just gets comboed a lot. So B tier, I think it's a good place for him. He has a special place in the hearts of fans, but other than that, B tier is a solid rank. Um, Next up, this doodle drawing guy. I don't really know what he's called, um, but he's cool. He's kind of just I don't know. He's big chillin'. I don't know what else to say about him. He does some cool things. He makes toast out of a pan. It's kind of weird, but he's just a very unique character. It's very different from anything else you'll find. Look at his movement. He moves like I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this character at all. He's just perfect. He's just the perfect character. And that's why I'm going to actually have to make a new tier above Bowser, even. Um, and I'm going to doodle drawing.
I heard that he looks like this because they ran out of graphics
Wow.
on
That's,
the GameCube.
that's really amazing if you think about it.
Uh huh.
It's just such a beautiful character. He's just so simple. I don't know. It's just the simplicity of the character, and like we don't know who this guy is or why he's here, why he's flying, why he's fighting. Is he evil? His is he evil? Is he a good guy? All we know is that he has a parachute and a